Hey guys, this is Ali from Alta. This video is for assembly instructions of the E-Quattro, the Alta Superior line. This is the 4-pack with a single gusset. You're gonna see some hardware difference. I mean, if you haven't seen the other racks, so this is all new to you anyway. The biggest difference are these longer 3/8 bolts that are going to be used for the bottom gusset, and then the short threaded bolts that are going to be used for the top gusset. Where you want to start is still with video 1 of a general rack assembly, because it's going to give you this structure right here, which is basically the hitch piece and the vertical post. It will show you how to mount the latch, but you want to stop right before the latch itself. Best place is either mount this on a vehicle or on this stand and get it locked in and start the assembly there. So that's where we're going to start. James is going to start with the latch piece first. This is where the longer bolt is going to come in play. This is hole 1 and 3 where the latch goes from the bottom. The top hole is just a regular bolt. You're still going to save those longer bolts. You hand tighten it enough to catch that nylock basically. Next step is to grab the top bar and pop that baby on. So the top bar, if this is considered the front of the rack, when you're looking at it this way, it goes on the back, or what we like to call the vehicle side. So we're going to put that on the vehicle itself, side itself, and it either goes, one thing to note is you can either go at the lowest position or the highest position for the gusset to work. The gusset will not work with the center position, and we did that on purpose because there was just too many configuration changes. So there's 2 positions. I would say for the taller vehicle, if you're running big trucks, lifted anything, is get that baby on the lower position and it'll be easier for loading. If you're running like minivans, lower vehicle to the ground, you got longer bikes that are XLs and they're just like, they need that wheelbase clearance for the ground, then put that on the top level. Well, for the purpose of this video, we're going to use the lower holes here. So you're going to hand tighten everything. Just keep everything loose. You could see we are nothing's tight, because this is kind of how everything assembles once you have this gusset system built in. So next, he's going to start putting the accessories on. These are your tool hangers that come with that, and you're going to push those in, and you can change the location of this. This is one way of putting them in, but you do want to put them in before you put the gusset in, because it's going to restrict a lot of access to that spot. What do we got next? Next, we're going to put our baskets in, and with that also comes the e-bike straps that come with the rack itself. So first basket. So this is a 4-pack. This is the E-Quattro, the 4-pack for the e-bikes. I'm gonna get 2 in. So we have the e-bike straps as well. Are we gonna do that? Okay. So we're putting the low bar on next. This is where that longer bolt will come in play, because we're gonna put the regular bolt on that top hole for the low bar. Got a little bit of, there you go. It's in there nice and tight. Everything's like precision fitting. Don't forget the washers. You get the first nylock on. And now you have, as you can see, the latch and the low bar are on, but only the top bolts are on them. So whole, if you count from the bottom, 1 and 2 are empty, 3 and 4 got bolts in them. Those are the regular bolts. So the 2 longer bolts now come in play. As you can see, he's gonna put the gusset on. I'm gonna get close here so I can get a little bit of struggle, but it's a one time. It means you only got to do this one time. So he's actually gonna, just as a placeholder, hand thread these bolts in. Again, everything's loose, kept super loose. That's just basically in the couple of turns. Then we go to the longer bolts. There you go. And those got to get worked through because it's going to be a little tight. So what that does is now you have the latch, the low bar, and the gusset system interface all running off the same holes. That's why you have to keep everything loose to make sure we get that good fitting. Don't forget to put the baskets up before you put that gusset in, or you're going to be unbolting those, sliding the baskets in. So James is just finishing that up. He's going to still keep everything loose. So just everything's hand tightened, kind of loosey-goosey. And we got the gusset on. Now we could start tightening things up. So where we're going to start is actually where the low bar is. Oh, got a little bit of catching issue. Now he's going to go ahead and just tighten things down. So we tighten the latch down. Don't worry about the distance. If you have any kind of distance between the latch itself and that chromoly, no big deal. That's why you have that orange pin. The OSP is what takes out the play or any kind of space. And that's like not super torqued yet, but he's just basically getting everything on. These are threaded interfaces. So just gonna do a little bit of slowly tightening and then we finish everything by hand. So we get those gussets nice and tight. Now we have the baskets in, we got the lower piece section in there. It's time to tighten things down. These are 9/16 wrenches. There's a socket and a 9/16 wrench. On the stand is a little harder. This is much easier on a vehicle because it's not moving. Even with the locking wheels, you're still gonna put a lot of force on here. So it's definitely easier to do this on your vehicle. So next is the top bar itself. I'm gonna crank that baby down, make sure everything's tight. And that's something you want to check really well, is making sure all the hardware is super tight and everything's cinched down. You know, like right now it feels pretty good. James is going to give the final torque, and you can see this in the videos. Our torque rating is Gorilla, but you can bend stuff, so watching that final video in the assembly will show you what to do about the torques. I'm gonna get that basket on. We got 3 baskets, and then the final basket goes on the other side of the gusset. So the rack comes with your retractable straps and your 4 e-bike straps, and obviously all the hardware and the lock and hitch pin. But this is basically gives you the pretty good idea of how to assemble an E-Quattro. Really, the big difference is, besides the size of the rack in itself, is the order of things put in together. Start with video 1 with the general rack. Either put the latch on and then take the bottom bolt off, or don't put the latch on at all. ignoring that part of that first video, and that gives you a pretty good starting point where we started. As always, if you have any questions, you can always give us a call, shoot us an email, send us pictures. We're here to help. Super stoked on this rack. This is going to be my go-to rack for sure for this season. I got some good plans to carry some other toys and this rack together. And see you on the dirt side. This is Ali and James from Alta Racks, coming to you from Murray, Utah, with assembly on the E-Quattro.